side, your opponent will see it coming and defend against it. Even though the punch approaches its target from the side, you don't want to throw your arm backward to generate power. Now we'll show the hook from the side. It's also possible to take a small step forward and throw the hook. You can even execute a side step and then throw the hook. It's the same strike, but a different variation. If your opponent punches, then you can evade his strike using a side step and throw the hook at the same time. So it can be a very good counter when combined with footwork. Once again, you do not want to fling your arm way out to the side. And once you throw the strike, exit out to avoid your opponent's attacks. Now I'll demonstrate Mawashi Suki, or overhand, which is a very common punch in karate. However, most people open their elbow when they throw this punch, but we do not. We keep the punch tight until just prior to impact. It isn't until the last moment that we rotate our arm. So at the end of the strike, rotate your arm and strike with the first two knuckles of your hand. After you hit your target with the punch, you want to back away to avoid counter strikes. And you always want to keep your opposite hand up to protect your face. Now I will show you the uppercut. When you throw this punch, it is very important to use your hips to punch from bottom to top.
Chamada de hook. Você bate de baixo para cima. Muito importante nessa técnica.
To punch from bottom to top, to drive your fist upward into your target. Your opposite hand must stay up to protect your face.
Essa mão de guarda permanece em cima.
This punch can also be executed with your lead arm. In addition to throwing this punch to your opponent's chin, you can also target his stomach. And as I said previously, it can also be thrown with your lead arm. The uppercut can be thrown to your opponent's stomach or his face. Another good time to use the uppercut is when you throw a straight punch and your opponent drops low to shoot in for a takedown. As he lowers his level and comes forward, you throw the uppercut into his face. It is the same punch, but a different application. Now we'll show how to throw 2 uppercuts in a row while backing up.
De hook. Dois agora. Esse, tá? Vai lá.
Notice how I strike from bottom to top.
Vai lá.
Now we'll show you shihaito, or ridge hand strike. You don't see this punch a lot in other martial arts, but it is utilized quite often in karate. With this technique, your weapon is the ridge of your hand.
Que se usa na hora do choque do golpe. Na hora que você vai bater. É golpe aberto.
Although it's an open hand strike,
É golpe muito forte.
it can possess a lot of power and cause a lot of
Guarda
damage.
permanece. Você vai sair aqui, ó.
It's similar to the overhand strike, but now you keep your hand open. Here my opponent throws a right punch, and I enter using shihaito. I keep my opposite arm up to protect my face. This technique can also be used when you and your opponent are in opposite fighting stances, meaning you have opposite feet forward. The only difference now is that instead of throwing the strike with your lead hand, you use your rear hand. He throws a punch, and I counter with shihaito. The target for this strike is the side of your opponent's jaw and his neck. Now I show kudaki, or spinning back fist. To execute this technique, you trap your opponent's outstretched hand with your lead hand, rotate, and then hit him with the back fist. With this technique, you can utilize 2 different types of footwork. The first type is to slide your rear leg circularly across the mat as you rotate. The other type is to keep your back leg planted in its original position. The first method is better employed when you need to cover distance, and the second version is best when you're already within striking range. Always open your opponent's guard with your lead hand before executing this technique. This creates an opening for you to land your punch.
Depois,
Now I will spar with my brother using the punching techniques I demonstrated throughout this section. Now we'll show what we call in karate jempi, or over-the-top elbow strike. I'll begin with my rear arm. A lot of people will use a side elbow strike, but we throw the elbow over the top because it makes it a lot easier to strike your opponent's face. If you throw the elbow from the side, it can get hung up on your opponent's arms, so you strike over the top. While executing the strike, make sure to keep your opposite hand up to protect your face.
Mesma coisa com o braço da frente.
It is the same when you throw the strike with your lead arm. Again, it's possible to throw the elbow from the side, but most of the time your opponent's hands will be up, making it difficult to strike him in the face. In addition to this, throwing the elbow from the side makes it easy for your opponent to see it coming, and he can block it with his arms. When you throw your elbow over the top, it is much harder for your opponent to block. You want to throw your elbow right down the middle, right between your opponent's arms. The goal is to crash the tip of your elbow into your opponent's face.
A mão de guarda é muito importante que ela se mantenha em pé.
When you execute this strike properly, the tip of your elbow will slide down your opponent's face and do damage. It probably won't knock him out, but due to the sharpness of your elbow, you will probably open a cut. You don't need to hit deep. As long as you brush your opponent's face with the tip of your elbow, you'll most likely open a cut. Now we'll show the uppercut elbow, which is just as powerful as the previous elbow strike. However, instead of throwing your strike over the top and driving the tip of your elbow down into your opponent's face, you throw it from bottom to top.
Tá? Onde você pode atacar.
It is a very easy strike to apply, but it is best utilized when you are in close range with your opponent. So, you use it when you are in close range. If you are not within close range, then you can utilize a forward step and then throw the uppercut elbow. It can be done with either your lead or rear arm. The uppercut elbow can also be used as a counter when your opponent attacks.
Ou, então,
To do this, you want to throw the uppercut elbow at the same time as you block your opponent's strike. Once more, you can use the uppercut elbow to either attack or defend. In my style, I use this elbow quite a lot as a defense. Every time I block one of my opponent's punches, I throw my opposite elbow upward to strike him in the face.